Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, gonna give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who were well, and salutation and much love to the Akim out there pushing out his word in truth and sincerity. This is Brother Oz from Great Millstone, Tampa, back with another lesson. Lord's will is gonna be edifying to the hopeful elect. And I'm just gonna go in the spirit and let's see it on the screen. Hold on. I got a video queued up here, but I want to start here in Second Ezra because you see the title of the video on the Watchtower. Because we're watching everything, man. So I'm gonna let this video play, but before I let it play, let's start in Second Ezra, chapter 9, and verse 1. It says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee for, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the earth which he made." So we've been watching. We see what's going on. We know the Lord's begun to visit the earth. Okay? Hold on, let me fix this. Whatever. Verse 3 says, "Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world," which, I mean, these things are happening. It's not up for debate. If you don't know that it's happening, it's because you're ignorant. Okay. Verse 4, "Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning." So Lord has already declared these things, man. All right, let me get this before we play this video. Declared. This is in, I believe it was Isaiah, maybe? Let me see. Nope. Okay. Oh, I spelled it wrong, Salakia. You know, in the blue letter, you got to spell it correctly. All right, because these things are happening. If you don't know that they're happening, it's because you're not watching. You're not observing the times. Come on, man. So you know what? Let me do it like this. Hold on, Salakia. Give me 1 second. Just bear with me. Stay tuned. It's gonna be good. Okay, but let's get this scripture. I want to get this scripture first. Salakia, man. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. This is Isaiah. I knew it was Isaiah. Isaiah 46. So let me do it like this. This is Isaiah 46 and verse 10. It says, "Declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure." So the Lord has declared the end from the beginning. All right, before even the foundations of the earth was made, right? He chose the elect, and he declared the end, as we just read in Isaiah 46 and 10. But again, how are we measuring the times? Because we're on that watchtower. Okay, we're watching. We're looking around the world to see what the hell's going on. While people are obsessed with themselves and doing things all about themselves, we are actually on the watchtower as the Lord told us to do. But it's about to come to a time where we're going to get off the watchtower. All right? Because we've already given you the warning. The Lord said, "Give them warning from me." Okay? But who's giving you the warning? The men that the Lord has set up. What is that? Ezekiel 3:17. "Son of man, I have made thee a watchman." Let's go into these. Matter of fact, let me put it on the screen so you can see it real quick. Ezekiel 3:17. "Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me." So the Lord has given us the warning. He told us the things. Again, we just read in Isaiah 46 and 10. So the Lord has given the watchman a heads up, right? Amos 3:7. The Lord surely doeth nothing but revealeth his secrets unto the prophets. Matter of fact, let's get that. We'll come back to Ezekiel 3. Let's get his Amos. And then we're gonna this is like a 40-minute video I'm gonna play, but we're gonna get to it. Amos 3:7, Salaki. Amos 3:7. Surely the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. So who are the servants of the Lord? The prophets. So if you're not prophesying, shut up and sit down. Nobody cares. At the end of the day, the Lord don't even care. Let's see in the NIV. Well, I'll read the NLT first. Indeed, the sovereign Lord, all caps Yahweh, never does anything until, keyword, until he reveals his plans to his servants, the prophets. So the Lord's already revealed it unto us. We don't even got to keep reading, man. Let's go back to Ezekiel, man. Because you getting a warning from on high. If you don't want to take heed to it, you're going to find out the hard way. Ezekiel 3:17 again. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. See what these other translations say. The NLT, Son of man, I have appointed you as a watchman for Israel. Hold on. Let's see what watchman says here. It should be Shapah. To look out, spy, keep watch, observe. Okay, to shine, to be bright, to look out, to view. So that's what we're doing, man. We're viewing and looking out on all these articles and everything that's coming out, breaking it down through the scriptures so that you can repent, take heed to the word of the Lord, because the Lord's giving you a warning. That's the point. The Lord's giving you a warning. He's giving you ample time to repent. Right? We'll come back to this though. So let's see this play. This is 38 minutes ago. Already got 40,000 views. Pentagon deploys stealth fighter jets as Venezuela aircrafts buzz U.S. Navy ships. And if you don't know, Venezuela just flew 2 fighter jets over America's warships. Right? So now let's see what they're saying.
Tonight is ordering a squadron of a dozen stealth fighter jets to the Caribbean to conduct operations against drug cartels. Of course, this all comes as Venezuela.
Right, in the drug cartel, right? The cartel, whatever they want to call it. Now they're the new ISIS. They're the new Al Qaeda. And Maduro, he's the new Gaddafi. He's the new Saddam. He's the new Saddam. You know, another means to bring regime change. And don't forget that Venezuela is full of resources. And I have word personally from Puerto Rico. See, this is not going to pass over. Something's going to come of this. I can't tell you what, but something is definitely going to come from this. I have word, because, you know, Puerto Rico is a Commonwealth of America. It's a territory. I have word from the ground itself that they're mobilizing military in Puerto Rico. They're sending, which I think they said in this video, but I've heard before this video even came out. I heard it first from people that actually live in Puerto Rico. Okay, they're mobilizing troops. They're opening up bases that have been closed for years, if not decades. Things are moving, so let's let this play, and we'll keep going into the scriptures.
Sends a message to the Trump administration too. Lucas Tomlinson is at the White House tonight for us. Good evening to you, Lucas.
Good evening, Aisha. The White House.
And hold on, if she's not AI, she's claimed.
Tomlinson is at the White House tonight for us. Good evening to you, Lucas.
Good evening, Aisha. The White House has approved the deployment of 10 F-35 stealth fighter jets to Puerto Rico.
To where?
After a pair of Venezuelan of 10 F-35 stealth fighter jets to Puerto Rico after a...
So I'm not making this shit up. This is on Fox News. This is in the Pentagon. and I have again verification, people on the ground, right? Because we're really the watchmen. We're the true journalists. We're the true people on scene. I have it confirmed. They're not lying about this. So they're sending fighter jets to Puerto Rico, okay? Which, that's there's a specific reason why America, of all the islands, they chose Puerto Rico to keep as a commonwealth or a territory.
Pair of Venezuelan F-16 jets buzzed an American-guided missile destroyer in the Caribbean. President Trump sent the following warning to Venezuela moments ago.
If they do put us in a dangerous position, they'll be shut down.
The Pentagon called the flyover of
They'll be shot down, but wait a minute. Venezuela literally just flew F-16s over your Navy ships. And guess where they got them F-16s from? Russia. Guess what? China is about to send what are they called? SU somethings more jets to Venezuela. This is what they're saying. But again, most people don't know what's going on. And again, we don't know exactly what the reason is for all of this. Maybe it's a smoke screen. Maybe they want resources. America has to do something. They're losing power. If you've been watching, you've been paying attention, you just had the SCO, okay, go on in China. Okay, if you don't know what that is, let me pull it up. Let me see here. And then after the SCO was over, China had the military parade, which 20 nations attended. But before that, okay, so the SCO stands for Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which is an economic and international security organization of 10 member states, which are in Asia, right? Russia being one of them. India, that's why they've been showing the pictures of. I'm gonna just pull it up just in case you think I'm bullshitting you. All right, this has been going on. This is the SCO. Let me put 2025. See, America is over, man. The hegemony that America has had is done, which we know where it's leading to. Ultimately, is the New World Order. This is all smoke screen. That's what I'm saying, man. That's why you got to know. Only a spiritual mind can understand what's going on. Anyway, whatever, man. News. Xi and Putin should stand shoulder to shoulder as China casts itself as an alternative global leader. And then what happened after this? What happened? Well, let me show you what SCO stands for. Just you could think, just in case you think we're making shit up. Shanghai Corporation Organization. The Shanghai Corporation SCO is a Eurasian political, economic, and international security organization of 10 member states. How many countries are in the SCO? Russia, China, India, Iran, Pakistan. I don't think Iran's part of it, but anyway, it says Iran, Pakistan, and Belarus. So India and Pakistan, didn't they just go to war recently? But now they was in cahoots over there in Shanghai. So what happened after Shanghai? China military parade 2025. Yeah. If you don't know about this, you're lost in the sauce. Let's let this play out real quick before we go back to the. But this shit is serious, man. This shit is getting serious. See, these America don't have shit on China. America has the most money into their military, and they're still losing compared to China. Now China has an unmanned stealth fighter, unmanned stealth bomber, drones. If you watch the parade, watch the fucking parade, and you're gonna see that these fucking gooks, these Moabites, look like robots. and then go back and look at the parade that Donald Trump threw this year. The military parade, what was it, the King's Day? Go look at that and compare it to the Chinese parade, and you're gonna see what I'm talking about. Let's fucking ad go. Fair use. Hold on.
Yeah, and you see the kinds of weapons that they've put out on display. You see a very powerful country. Pause it here. This equipment right here, a robotic small tank. Top part is.
Let's go real quick before I let that finish, because something just popped in my mind, man. Because this is the stage we at, man. This America. How has the hammer of the earth ceased, right? Let's go to Joel 2 and was it 2 or maybe it's chapter 3? Salakia, give me a second here. And if you don't got a second, then you know where to hit. You can hit that X at the top of the screen. Okay, next chapter. This is Joel chapter 3. Where I just get straight to the point and then we'll come back, Lord's will. Joel 3 and 10. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, meaning these countries are gonna go into military capabilities, right? They're gonna turn everything into swords and spears. Let the weak say I'm strong. So let's see an example. Don't count China out just yet.
Where everything is. This is the brains of the equipment. China is incredibly serious about integrating artificial intelligence into their weapon systems.
Right. So again, AI, China's way ahead of America when it comes to AI, right? Because again, they have a autonomous stealth plane that, all right, unmanned stealth plane that's controlled by AI. And that's just one aspect of it. Look into it. I'm not going to go fully into it, but go ahead.
They're doing it basically at a record pace.
So these nations are saying, we're strong. What you going to do, America? Now, because again, China, they can't fight America alone. But now they got Russia, they got Iran, they got North Korea, they got India. Because all these tariffs and sanctions, all the bullshit Trump's doing is just deterring nations away from America and leading them to the hands of Russia and China, which we know, according to the scriptures, China's the big boy, so to say.
No.
And this is not a joke. This is not a game. America does not have shit like this. The B-2 bomber, right, that they used to bomb Iran, that shit was made at the very latest 2000. So we're talking about 25-year-old technology. Warships are outdated, as the 4-star generals have said, outdated warships. Russia just unleashed a warship that has hypersonic nuclear weapons from a warship. Nobody else has them capabilities. Russia does, though. They just released it. Look it up.
The laser system, and this is a beautiful view right here of the front of the laser. So this LY-1 is a new laser that we really haven't seen before. So
all this money America is putting into the military for all these faggots and trannies, they didn't got no shit like this. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Because remember, all these technologies come from private corporations. It's not government building this. Is BlackRock, Boeing, you know, so on and so forth. You know, you look it up and look into it. These are contracted, you know, contracts that the government buys for these weapons, right? Going to show you that that's why you got to understand who's really running things. The elites, the Amalekites, really, the central banks. They're the ones funding the manufacturing of these weapons. That's why we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We know what's going on, but this is a stage, and a play must go on. The play must go on.
Chinese are doing this for this parade, and that, of course, indicates that they are using
This is the military parade of China. Again, go back to the military parade of America when Trump was there about to fall asleep, hurt on his birthday or whatever, King's Day, and people were protesting across the street. You think people were protesting in China when this was going on, and the 20 diplomats were there, the 20 different presidents of different countries were there? There wasn't nobody protesting. But here in America, that's what happened. America's finished, man. The hegemony is over. The beast shall hate the whore. It's only a matter of time before death and destruction comes to this on a street near you. These missiles ain't for show. And now this thing with Venezuela, which we're gonna get back to, now is in your backyard. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Things a game.
directed energy weapons, including lasers, to impact not only aircraft, but also potentially incoming missiles. And if they have enough power, could potentially be used in anti-satellite capacity as well. Keep in mind, though, great is one thing. Actual combat operations are a completely different matter. China has not fought a
Yeah, so they're gonna say, "Oh, China ain't fought a war and blah blah blah." Okay, but it doesn't matter. It's AI gonna fight the war now. This devil's gonna tell you, "Oh, yeah, China hasn't fought a war like America's fought a war." What war? The wars that Americans have lost. AI is gonna fight those wars, man, and it's gonna be with burn. Well, let's get it. It ain't gonna be with the main war is gonna be fought with. Let's see what the scriptures say. Of course, people are gonna be on the boots on the ground, chiefly in the Middle East. Isaiah 9 and 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Well, fuck what this devil got to say. That's what the scriptures say. That's gonna be the burning and fuels of fire. How are these missiles gonna be propelled? ICBMs. All these things are propelled with what? With burning and fuel of fire. Let's see what else it says in the other translations. NLT, the boots of the warrior and the uniforms bloodstained by war will all be burned. They will, okay, come on now. NIV, every warrior's boot used in battle and every garment rolled in blood will be destined for burning. Well, okay, yeah, so they're not breaking it down. Let's keep on.
not fought a war since 1979, 1980, when they fought a war with Vietnam. They are not
That's what's coming. Those are warheads. Those are gonna be put on propulsion systems, rockets.
combat capabilities have not really been tested. These
They have not been tested. America's military hasn't been tested. Well, all they do is go to different countries and invade them, third world countries, invade them and drop bombs on them. Have you seen the American military lately? They're finished. I know a few of them. They're all psychotic. They got PTSD. They're not right in their minds. Hell, high level officials are being arrested for speaking up against Gaza, the genocide, speaking up against them small hats. Your American military has not been tested like you think it has, man. Just because they went into Iraq, think about it. They're going into third world countries and dropping bombs and killing people indiscriminately. They haven't been tested against a real superpower. So this nigga is gonna get up here and say, "Oh, China hasn't been tested." Who is it? Who is he to say other? Come on, man.
kinds of things can break down in a combat situation, but they should not be on.
That's the AI drone right there. This is a stealth fighter. Supersonic. Go into it. Look it up. This is an unmanned supersonic stealth fighter. America ain't got no shit like that. Who they gonna send? The they them tranny? They gonna send 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 Come on, man. This place is finished. And don't get it twisted. America still has much military power. Don't get it twisted, of course. But now the nations are coming up against her. They're ganging up on her because they're sick of it.
Estimated, we should study them very carefully and
Look at that. This is an unmanned stealth fighter. AI. China is far more advanced with this kind of technology than America is. Which again, you know, you go into it, AI, it's all the same shit at the end of the day, as far as coding, but America's not on this level. Let me finish this video for
figure
a
out
second.
how we can counter those capabilities. If we
You can't. Tough luck. Let's go back to this though.
Of armed Venezuelan F-16s over the USS Jason Dunham, highly provocative. The flyover took place 2 days after U.S. forces launched a strike on a Venezuelan drug boat in the Caribbean.
Which the Venezuelan, one of the Venezuelan generals or high level official, he brought it out. This is just a smoke screen. Remember, what was the let me get this real quick, man. What was the pretext to invade Iraq? Oh, it was 9/11. No, it had nothing to do with 9/11. It was all about weapons of mass destruction, which to this day they're still looking for them, right? They're still looking for weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. But what came from that war? Bloodshed, over 1 million people dead, civilians in Iraq that had nothing to do with 9/11. Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So we killed some 11 people on a boat smuggling drugs in the middle of the Caribbean Ocean. Motherfuckers didn't even have enough gas to get to Cuba, but they had to blow them out of the waters. Right. Again, they're looking for justification to bring regime change and to invade Venezuela so they can take the resources. Believe it or not, that's what they're trying to do. They've been trying to do it. It failed back in 2019 when they put up Guaido or Guido, whatever you want to call him. Talking about he won the election. No, he didn't. Maduro has been in there, and people love him in his country. Cause I personally have Venezuelan news channels in my house, so I'm not just watching Fox News what they say about Venezuela. I'm actually looking at what Venezuelan news saying. This is a bunch of bullshit and lies. Fox News ain't got a station in Venezuela. Okay? It's all bullshit. It's a smoke screen. They're trying to distract you. What happened to Donald Trump talking about he gonna end all the wars? He gonna end Ukraine and Russia war day one. But here it is. Russia's been bombing the shit at them, and it's been intensifying more and more. Gaza-Israel war has got even worse to the point that now Israel said they're gonna just take it. They said, the hell with bombing them. We're just gonna go in there with tanks and foot troops and whatnot. And you got to know the history of this shit, man. Because Maduro, he's the predecessor or the successor of Hugo Chavez. I remember Apostle Tahar brought it out, but I looked into it even further. Hugo Chavez been in there since '99. He died around 2013. Okay, so he ruled for what 14 years. Hugo Chavez, the president of Venezuela from '99 to 2013, right? His right hand man was Maduro. And if you go into Maduro's history, or Nicolas Maduro, he spent a lot of his lifetime in Cuba. Now, who has affiliation with Cuba? Was not the Cold War dealing with Cuba? And who was the Cold War dealing with? America and Russia. So if Maduro has ties to Cuba, and then he became president of Venezuela, being the right-hand man of Chavez, don't you think he has ties with Russia? Let's keep going, though.
Trump said all 11
Again, this is a fishing boat. This is not drug cartels. This is a fucking fishing boat. And it's not 11 people on there, which we'll see if they even show it.
members of the Tren de Aragua gang on board.
Where the fuck is the 11 people on a fishing boat? Because these right here, where the cursors at, those are the engines. This right here are those what they say was like 20 tons of drugs or whatever they said. Where the fuck are the 11 people at? And if they're gonna go from Venezuela to America, then this must be fuel. So where's the fuel and where's the drugs? They have 4 engines, 1 outboard engines. 1, 2, 3, 4. This has to be fuel if they're gonna go to America. So where the fuck are the drugs? And where are the 11 people? This is again more lies of the devil. Again, look, seeking to justify the regime change that they have done to Syria, Libya, Iraq, Afghanistan, so on and so forth.
Who were killed. The State Department declared the group a foreign terrorist organization and
It used to be that Coast Guard would just pull up and talk to them in Spanish and tell them to pull up to the boat. Now they just dropping bombs on them. Fuck it, drone strikes, as they had been doing.
who are a Republican member of the Senate Armed Services Committee called the strike justified.
The boat had been warned to stop. They chose not to. They were clearly running drugs. We had been tracking it since it left Venezuela.
Many Democrats called the strike a violation of international law.
So here it is. You got this bitch Nancy Pelosi about to condemn them. So this is again, this is a nation divided, man. This place is finished. America's done. Civil war is coming. Let's go back. Hold on. I wanted it in the GNT. Matter of fact, where's my book right here? I got the book right here. Hard copy. GNT. This is in hold on. This is in Second Maccabees. Or no, Second Esdras. Slovakia. Second Esdras. Chapter was it 15? Second Esdras 15 and verse 16. I'll get straight to I'll start at 14. Second Esdras 15 verse 14. The world and the GNT, the world and the people in it are doomed. The war that will bring their destruction is very near. And we're at World War, man. World War III has already begun.
I think they can.
Okay? These are the beginning stages of it. It says, the war that will bring their destruction is very near. Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. This is literally what we're watching. It's playing out. Verse 16. Second Esdras 15, verse 16, the GNT. There will be great political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government. Welcome to America 2025.
Get away with this. God knows what they are going to do next. So that's what we're looking to right now. And there is reason to believe that this was not a legal action.
President
So you got devils themselves, which we know they playing both sides of the same coin. They're exposing themselves, man. Let's keep going because we're only a minute into it. It's a 46-minute. We ain't gonna go through all this, but let's see where the spirit takes us.
Trump's defense secretary says the actions are justified after 400,000 Americans died from drug overdoses during the Biden administration.
A foreign terrorist organization poisoning your people with drugs coming from a drug cartel is no different than Al Qaeda.
At the height of the Obama administration,
Now, Latinos, you're considered worse than Al Qaeda. You heard what he said. Because where the drugs coming from, according to these devils, it's coming from you Latinos.
overdoses during the Biden administration.
A foreign terrorist
You're the new Al Qaeda. That's why ICE has been set up. That's why the National Guard is being deployed. You are the new terrorist.
organization poisoning your people with
You Israelites.
drugs coming from a drug cartel is no different than Al Qaeda.
At the height of the
No different from Al Qaeda. No different. But wait a minute. I know more pill poppers, right? Or I've seen more pill poppers that go to the doctor and get a prescription drug than I've seen crackheads. So what the fuck? The real cartel is the doctors at the clinics that give you a piece of paper with that chicken scratch signature and tell you to go get this prescription drug. Those are the real fucking pill popping uh, um, uh, pill pushers. Is the doctor. The nigga that you go get your annual checkup, he's the real problem. It ain't a nigga on a fishing boat from Venezuela.
Obama administration, the U.S. military carried out drone strikes in 7 different countries: Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan.
Again, this is where they have destabilized the nations: Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Yemen, Somalia, through Libya, Gaddafi. So Maduro is the new Gaddafi. The cartel is the new ISIS. What did ISIS stand for? Huh? Maybe you don't know. I'll show you what it means then. Right? Because most people don't know what ISIS actually stands for. ISIS military parade. Get the fuck out of here. Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. It's supposed to be Syria. I don't know what the fuck they talking about. It's the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. And what are they? Look, come on, man. And this is where America has been using U.S. drone strikes since 2002.
Libya, Pakistan, Yemen, and Somalia. Over 500 in all, killing an estimated 3,500 people, including...
See, so this is not considered terrorism. They just killing niggas indiscriminately, but that's not terrorism. They're doing it for save the world. Diplomacy. Bringing stability to the region. Bringing democracy. Right. But they're blowing up villages in the middle of the desert.
Hundreds of civilians.
Hundreds of civilians. And then you got this clown. Watch.
Trump also made it official, changing the name of the Department of Defense.
We're going
At Spear, we called this. We said he was going to do that.
to Department of War.
So it went from the Department of Defense to the Department of War. Why? Because they're going to war. America has not realized that they're at war. You've been at war for a couple of years at this point. Now it's about to get physical. Physical.
It's the second time in American history the Department of War nomenclature has been used to describe the cabinet overseeing the U.S. military. The first time was back in 1789. Of course, it needs...
You gonna bring up accounts from 1789? Shut the fuck up. You see how these devils do? Oh, the Department of Defense wasn't the Department of Defense on the last time in 1789. Really, nigga?
Congressional approval, the name change. Aisha?
And Lucas, tonight we're hearing about
Claim.
a new incoming report from Health and Human Services on autism. What do you know about that?
Wait, autism. Now they're gonna talk about retards, because that's what the American people are. They're using too much Tylenol used during pregnancy, causing retards and autism.
Well, Aisha, according to the Wall Street Journal, a new report from Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and H.H.
Now what? This nigga went from talking about war, the Department of War, to talking about niggas with autism. Come on, man. If this isn't a joke, what is?
This new report is going to be on autism and saying that a vitamin B...
This nigga got autism. The foremost expert on autism. Because of Tylenol use, right? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Oh boy. At this point, we can't do nothing but laugh, bro. This shit is hilarious. Cause America's crumbling. They come on, bro. They went from talking about war to autism, man. Tylenol.
deficiency and taking the pain reliever Tylenol during pregnancy could be linked to autism. And we just received this statement from HHS. It says, quote, "We are using gold standard science to get to the bottom of America's unprecedented rise in autism rates."
The unprecedented rise of autism is because of the vaccine. Well, they're gonna cancel this. Who cares? The jabs they're giving people, children, newborns, the food, all right, and so on and so forth. You think they have autistic people in China? Well, they already autistic. They're born with autism. They call it epicantic fold, right? Because if you look at autistic people, they look like Chinese people. They got them slanty eyes, Down syndrome look, right? But anyway, let's keep going, man.
Until we release the final report, any claims about its contents are nothing more than speculation. And it's not clear when
It's all speculation, right? Yeah. Because the Department of Health and Human Services said so.
this final report will be released. Aisha?
Okay, we'll wait for it. Lucas Tomlinson live
Aisha gotta go, and this nigga gotta go too.
at the White House. Lucas, thank you.
Every boatload of any form of drug that
Look, this is a fishing boat, man. How the fuck is a fishing boat gonna go from Venezuela? Where were they going? International water. We gonna blow them niggas up. U.S. military destroys Venezuelan smuggling boat.
the American people is a eminent threat. At the DOD,
It was an imminent threat. These niggas gonna kill people. They're gonna bring in thousands of drugs and fentanyl to kill 800 billion people to America, man. They had to blow them up. This is where we're at. Esau has become unhinged. Why? He know he had but a short time. Let's get that. Revelation. What is that, 12? Bear with me. This is Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth he hath but a short time. Come down upon who? You seeing it? ICE, National Guard, and now you can be on your fishing boat in the international waters and get blown up.
is to defeat eminent threats. A foreign terrorist organization put
Imminent threat. A fishing boat is an imminent threat. DOD, Department of Defense, Rapid Response, Tuesday.
your people with drugs coming from a drug cartel is no different than Al Qaeda. We smoke the drug.
There you go. You Israelites have become the new terrorist. You're worse than Al Qaeda on your fishing boats. Hell, and it's going to come down upon you here in America. You're going to be linked to these niggas in fishing boats.
Oh, and there's 11 narco terrorists at the bottom of the ocean. And when other people try to do that,
There's not 11 people on the boat.
they're going to meet the same fate.
Sending quite a message to Venezuela and the cartels. President Trump committing more.
And that's why they flew them planes over them. Look, Pentagon deployed stealth fighter jets as Venezuelan aircraft buzz U.S. Navy ship. Let's see if they... Okay, we're only 3 minutes in. Let's let it keep going.
Assets to counter foreign cartels while Democrats are vilifying him, claiming he did not act within his legal authority when he authorized military force to decimate that alleged drug peddling speedboat, which was headed directly for the United States.
Look, right there. Where's the 11 people at? Where the 11 people at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is probably gas tanks. Or maybe, let's say this is the drugs over here. Where the fuck is the 11 people at? What is this bitch talking about? I see 4 engines. Whatever cargo they got here, let's say it's drugs. Okay. We'll give them that. Well, where the fuck is the 11 people at? See, the American people will believe anything.
Meanwhile, the Trump administration says those allegations are a farce and that Tuesday's strike was only the beginning for those looking to terrorize the United States of America. Hello, everyone. This is Outnumbered. I'm Kaylee McEnany here with my co-host, Harris Faulkner. Also joining us, Nicole Parker. Not Nicole Parker. Oh, my goodness. That is Dr. Nicole Sapphire. We got that one wrong. Nicole Parker. She's wonderful. Two great Nicoles. I'll take either one. And Rose.
Are these supposed to be the watch people? Are these supposed to be the people giving you the news? Like we started off with. Measure the time diligently. These are the people you getting your news from? Again, of course, we go to Fox News, CNN, and MSNBC, whatever, but we go to alternative news. Like I said earlier, I have the Venezuelan news, local news from Venezuela on my TV. These people are a bunch of actors, liars. They literally read a script off a fucking screen. Watch the movie Anchorman.
Dennis Scotto, Fox 5 New York anchor and host of the Underground Economy.
Like these bimbos know what the fuck is going on. Like they've investigated anything.
And Fox Nation, and Guy Benson, Fox News contributor and host of the Guy Benson Show on Fox News Radio. Well, let's start here. Secretary of State Marco Rubio gave praise to President Trump for going on offense, saying the attack was life-saving and a legal use of his presidential authority.
This one was operating in international waters, headed towards the United States to flood our country with poison.
How the fuck they know he was headed to United States? Between Venezuela and the United States, the closest is Key West. How the fuck they know they were headed to Venezuela, from Venezuela to America? Again, don't believe the lies, man. This is a smokescreen. They're trying to make justification for what's about to come. Esau's about to bring something, but again, China, Russia, and even Iran, they have ties in Venezuela.
And under President Trump, those days are over.
Well, Trump has spent months trying to undo what Biden failed to do for the last 4 years. Now, according to the NIH, there were over 400,000 overdose deaths under former President Biden. Think about that, 400,000 Americans gone. And Democrats won't give Trump the record.
Well, who were those 4,000 Americans that died and it was gone? Probably a majority of them was a bunch of Edomites overdosing on fucking fentanyl and opioids, and because in the crack era, the crack epidemic, they didn't give a fuck. Well, who was it? Was it Reagan? War on drugs. Now it's a war on the cartel. Right. And if you go into it, who sets up these kingpins? Who sets up these cartels? It's the CIA. It's American agencies that set up these agencies, man. And let's say a ship, they don't just blow them up in the middle of the ocean. No, they take the drugs and then they send them right back to the countries they came from. It's a monopoly on drugs, man.
There were over 400,000 overdose deaths under former President Biden. Think about that, 400,000 Americans gone.
Oh,
And Democrats
boo-hoo.
won't give Trump the recognition because they're too busy pandering to the criminals, like Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen, who famously sat down for some drinks with MS-13 member Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Well, Van Hollen didn't stop there. Listen to this beauty from MSNBC.
Am I crazy? Am I wrong here that this seems to violate both U.S. and international law?
Chris, you're absolutely right. What this was an extrajudicial killing, pure and simple. It was illegal. I think the Trump administration just wanted to get a video of a boat blowing up because they did that at the same time they're cutting the Fed.
Again, never trust your enemy. We're in the age of AI and CGI, and don't believe everything you see on the mainstream media, man. That's all I gotta say.
budget when it comes to actual drug.
But pulling back to the Harvard constitutional law days, there is vast power to act. There is a ton of
We saw that video of taking out the Venezuelan
terrorist organization, so they need to be treated as a terrorist organization. And as PXS said, we have to go on the offense if we care at all about American lives. And the battlefield has changed when you have 400,000 Americans dying here at home by drugs shipped across.
Wait a minute. Motherfuckers have been overdosing for a long time. Don't blame Venezuela for it. I've seen more junkie Edomites than I've seen junkie black or Latinos. The most junkies or drugged, the what they call it, bingers or what's that? Basers. They're a bunch of Edomites. So now it's Venezuela. It's Maduro's fault that these niggas are crackheads.
For more on this, let's bring in Mike Sorelli, retired Navy SEAL and host of Unsung Arlington on Fox Nation. Mike, let's dive into, we saw that video of taking out the Venezuelan drug boat, and our colleague here at Fox, Lucas Tomlinson.
So now it's narco terrorism. Fuck with the hell with Al Qaeda, the hell with ISIS, the hell with Hamas, The problem now is narco terrorism from South America. Right.
Was deployed back in 2003 when he was in the Navy, and he did drug interdiction in the Caribbean aboard a frigate. And he said, you know, back then there was a law enforcement component on the frigate. They would shoot to disable the boat, try and apprehend the drug runners, and then.
So he's admitting what they did, so allegedly killing them 11 people that supposedly was on the boat. They used to just shoot the motors out, and then bring them onto the barges or the warships, whatever, right? The Coast Guard, because that's who would police the waters, the Coast Guard. I've personally seen them work in action. So why the fuck would they just do a missile strike on a fishing boat that can't even make it 3 hours?
Just confiscate the drugs. Now it's an entirely different mission that certainly feels like simply shoot to kill.
Arguably, I could say this is long overdue. You look at the toll, and I don't know the exact number of the amount of Americans we've lost to drugs, whether it's fentanyl, cocaine, or any other major illicit drug. I think this was.
Well, where does the fentanyl come from? Fentanyl comes from China. So why don't you send warships to China and shoot their boats? Because fentanyl is not coming from Venezuela. The drugs that come from Venezuela is from Colombia, and it's mostly cocaine. Ain't no goddamn fentanyl. Fentanyl, as a matter of fact, fentanyl, they'll give it to you at the hospital. They got medical grade fentanyl. Because of my occupation, I know. They tell you to double up the gloves, because if you touch it, you're going to get fucked up. It's not coming from Venezuela. Fentanyl doesn't come from Venezuela. They don't create fentanyl in Venezuela. It's coming from China.
Response is long overdue. And, God bless our law enforcement brethren, but this is far outside their capability. And so this is where the Department of War comes into play. And it should.
There you go. They changed it from the Department of Defense to the Department of War. America's at war, whether people want to acknowledge it or not. They're not only at war with other countries, they're at war in America itself.
Be stiffer actions, it should be stiffer penalties for anyone trying to illicitly smuggle drugs into our nation that could potentially kill our youth and Americans. So I'm a strong proponent of the action that the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, and President Trump are taking.
Mike, this is Jillian. Intelligence sources have been saying that if you're going to shoot to kill, a euphemism in this case, if you're going to take people out, 11 people, as happened the other day, you got to be 110% sure that those targets are culpable. Based on what you know from serving, do you feel comfortable that the government was 110% sure that all 11 of these people were the right targets?
I would love to meet the person who said you have to be 110% sure on anything. I'm going to tell you right now, the battlefield or situations like this, you never have the.
This is a battlefield. This was a fishing boat in the middle of international waters. Again, they're presenting the story on the mainstream media so they can be justified to what they're about to do. We read it earlier. Never trust thine enemy. And again, that's why we're watching. And this is just one example of things we're watching. There's many things going on. The mark of the beast is coming. All these things that you're seeing is a smoke screen because all these nations are ultimately in cahoots. The hour of temptation is coming.
Full picture. You, in fact, have to make very strong, decisive, quick decisions with 60 or 70% of the sight picture, or what we call intelligence. And that is the weight of commanders that are making those decisions. That's the weight of the Secretary of War. That is the weight of the presidency. And sometimes, guys, we get it wrong. That's war. And that's the war on drugs and the war on cartels. So you're never going to have.
Yeah, he said, fuck it. Sometimes we get it wrong. We kill niggas, whatever. Sometimes we get it wrong. Sometimes we get it right. Who cares? Who's going to do something about it? But now the weak saying they strong. Now America can't do what they used to do. They're trying, but they can't do it like they used like they used to. The hegemony of America is over.
110% or 100% assurance on these targets. But when it comes to American lives, that's our job, to make those hard decisions for which 99% of Americans don't want to make. Trying to protect.
Right. As people are becoming homeless in America, the prices are going up. People are getting kicked out of their jobs, replaced by AI. Niggas are living in their cars. They sending money to blow up fishing boats.
Our youth, Americans, and our way of life.
Mike, I want to play for you.
Or to send money to Israel and Ukraine. While your ass is starving. You can't, you go to Walmart or Kroger's or Whole Foods, you look at that receipt, you hurt. But they got billions to send to other nations. But they ain't got $1 or $2 for you.
A little bit of Secretary Hegseth, he was talking about this strike, and keep in mind the Cartel de Soles, for which Nicolas Maduro has been indicted back in 2020.
And the Cartel de Soles, they have been eliminated since like 2019, so that's another lie these devils like to say. Again, they're trying to present this shit. Again, remember in 2019, they tried to throw a coup in Venezuela, right? They tried to put up the puppet leader Guaido, or Gudo, whatever you want to call him, however you want to pronounce it. He was backed by the CIA, America. They tried to puppet him up. But guess who came in to save Maduro? The Russians. Russia sent military troops to protect Maduro, while America was trying to back up Guaido.
For being the leader up on narco terror and trafficking charges. Here's a little bit of Hegseth. Here's what he says.
If you're trafficking drugs and you're a known cartel entity, a designated terror organization, and they're headed for the United States, or part of the process that would head to the United States, that will have lethal consequences. The poisoning of the American people is over. Those foreign terrorists.
But the number one poisoner of the American people is the goddamn pharmaceutical companies. Do you see how big of a hypocritical nation this is? The number one, because most people, I don't know the numbers, but a lot of people, I would say the majority of Americans are hooked on drugs. They're on some kind of pharmaceutical pill. But you talking about Venezuela bringing in drugs. Get the fuck out of here, man.
We're defeated in the Caribbean. We're just the beginning of what will happen if foreign terrorist organizations continue to try to
poisoning the American people is over. Well, then you got to get rid of the pharmaceuticals. You got to get rid of the doctors that prescribe them. You got to get rid of the pharmacies that push the pills. But you're going to blow up a fishing boat with allegedly 11 people on it bringing drugs, because they got so many drugs on there on a fishing boat that is going to overrun America. Only a moron would believe that.
People and kill them in our hearts.
And so, Mike, I want to get your reaction to that.
Let me get something real quick. How you spell it? Ignorant? Ignorant. Was it Thessalonians? Oh, 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We're not ignorant of his oh boy, what happened? Okay. We're not ignorant of well, let me get the other translations. NLT, so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. We know what this devil's doing, bro. Talking about, come on, bro. Venezuela's the problem. First it was Mexico, the cartel in Mexico. It's like, first
In the United States, that will have.
First it was the cartel in Mexico. Now it's Venezuela. NLT or NIV. in order that Satan might not outwit us, for we are not unaware of his schemes. We know what this devil's doing, bro. We know it before he knows it.
Consequences. The poisoning of the American people is over. Those foreign terrorists who were defeated in the Caribbean were just the beginning of what will happen if foreign terrorist organizations continue to try to poison the American people and kill them in our armies.
And so, Mike, I want to get your reaction to that. It seems that this FTO or SDGT designations are really what's driving the authorization, if you will, to take these actions.
It is. I think putting the moniker of these are narco-terrorist organizations, and hence they fall under the rules of engagement for the military, is vitally important. I think it's long overdue, guys. I remember the campaign back to the 80s of Don't Do Drugs. That was a very indirect way of curbing our addiction.
So now they're expanding the rules of engagement. You see? And soon it'll become upon the average American. Because again, like we read earlier, the devil's coming with great wrath. Was that let me get this here. This devil is about to come down on a whole nother level, right? Let's get this in Second Esdras, what is it, 16? See, life as you know it is about to change in a horrible way. Right? Second Esdras 16 and where is it at? 70. Second Esdras 16:71. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So ultimately, everything is geared towards those that fear Yahweh Shem Yahushai and those that fear or go against the order that's coming, the New World Order. Again, all this charades that they're putting out, they all work together. They're all in cahoots. Don't forget that. Russia and America and China, but they all governed by the same devils, right? So they're about to come down like madmen, sparing none, blowing up niggas in the middle of the ocean on a fishing boat. You don't think they're gonna blow your city up or blow a house? The Lord protect the elect. The Lord's gonna protect the elect, but they're willing to kill whoever and wherever.
To drugs, but you've got to go to the source on this. And presidency after presidency has taken a soft approach, has proven ineffective, and guys, you're left with one resort. If we truly want to protect the American people, then you've got to go after the source. You got to go after the cartels, and that means
protect America. You got to go to the niggas on boats and kill them. Even though Venezuela does most of the drugs Venezuela gets is from Colombia, but we got to invade them. See, now the line is being drawn in the sand. Remember, Esau, he's divided amongst himself. What happened during the Greek Empire? Let's go to that. What happened during the Greek Empire? Esau was divided. You don't think it's the same today? Shit. What is that? First Maccabees? This is first Maccabees and chapter 1. It's in verse 9. And I'll start at 7. So Alexander Greek. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule, which was originally 5, but it became 4 because of their atrocities and the devilness in them. They pushed one nigga out, and his servants bear rule every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. So if they did it back then, they're doing it again. Trust me, trust and believe that these elites, they still beefing with each other, man, because they're the same devils that were set up back then. They hated themselves back then. They still doing the same shit.
Legal action.
Mike, real quick before we let you go, what do you make of the president's decision to rename DOD the Department of War?
Well, I can tell you this, a lot of people are going to have an allergic reaction and they don't understand the history. Jennifer said it earlier in her statement, it's been the War Department since 1789 to 1947. And
since 1789 to 1947. Right.
When the decision, the national military establishment was made, it was to really invoke bureaucratic unification in a softer post-war image. At the end of the day, there's two messages here, guys. There's internally and externally. Internally, the War Department or Department of War is a cultural mind shift that these social experiments within DOD are done. At the end of the day, we have to be the most technologically, tactically, lethal force.
See, you heard him. Technologically, you got to be the technologically. What else he say? Hold on. Technologically.
Lethal force, bureaucratic unification in a softer post-war image. At the end of the day, there's two messages here, guys. There's internally and externally. Internally, the War Department or Department of War is a cultural mind shift that these social.
It's a cultural mind shift, meaning everything you have believed, everything people in America have come to know is about to be shifted. You about to find out who the devil is.
Experiments within DOD are done.
Is done.
Today we have to be the most technologically
technologically, which y'all far behind China.
Tactically.
Tactically. Come on now. What do you use tactics for?
Lethal force.
Lethal force. He's coming down with great wrath because he knoweth he hath but a short time. Skinhead Bob just said it.
The world. We are measured on our lethality as the military and externally.
Yeah, so America's measured on the lethality. How many people can they blow up? How many people can they kill? Let's go to that. How has the hammer of the earth? Let's go to that with the Jeremiah. This place is done, man. Fucking finished. That's why they're going ballistic. They're going ballistic because they know they're done. Only a fucking Muppet would stand for this place. A goddamn Sesame Street character. Jeremiah 15:23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? Right, because they were the hammer. They were lethal. Didn't this nigga just say that? Let's go back.
Tactically, lethal force in the.
Lethal force. That's what made America the hammer of the earth. Because the lethal force. Jeremiah 15:23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Let's see what this word here for hammer is. Patazaya? Patazayash. Patazayash. Intensively from an hammer, forge hammer. What do you use a hammer for? Devastator. There you go. So the America has been a devastator through what homeboy just said. Let's go back. Through lethal force.
Today we have to be the most technologically, tactically, lethal force in the world. We are measured on our lethality as the military.
There you go. That's how they became the hammer of the earth. But how is it broken down? Because the Lord has willed it. Verse 24, Jeremiah 15:24. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, aka America, and thou wast not aware, thou art found, and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh. So this place is finished, man. You have fought against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and here comes your demise. It doesn't matter what the fuck these skinheads say. Trump ain't restoring a goddamn thing.
It is very symbolic to our enemies. of America is back, and we're serious about business.
America's back? Okay. Where'd they go? Where did America go for it to be back?
We are always in the pursuit of peace, but we are trained in the art of war. We are.
You heard it. They're in the
military
pursuit.
force.
They're
So
always
don't
in the
tap.
pursuit of peace, but they just kill niggas indiscriminately. Drone strikes. Then they early in the video they showed you a map and everything of showing you where they kill niggas with drone strikes. But they're all about peace. Get the fuck out of it. Shit, sit it like Conor McGregor said. Sit down and shut the fuck up.
People respond to strength. Weakness invites enemies at your doorstep.
No more nation building as well, it sounds like. Mike, gotta leave it there. Thank you so much for taking time.
Republican Senator Ashley Moody of the great state of Florida, member of the Judiciary and Homeland Security Committees. She's also served as the state's Attorney General. Good to see you. Let's begin with that legal question about what the Trump administration is doing now to knock out narco-terrorists.
I don't give a fuck what that bitch got to say, honestly. Let's see here. But I mean, this is another 30 minutes of this rhetoric from Fox News. But you get the point, man. This place is finished. Here it is, they blowing up niggas in the middle of the ocean on a fishing boat. You don't think they're gonna be willing to kill you? Wait a minute, here's a good picture. Where's the 11 people at? Where are there 11 people on this boat? Don't believe everything you see on TV, man. Look at this. Where are there 11 people on this fucking boat? People believed it though. And look at the headline. Trump admin ramps up narco terrorist crackdown. These are probably niggas trying to go to another country in the Caribbean. He got blown up. They say, oh, them niggas was trafficking drugs. That's crazy. Hey, but people believe this shit, man. Hey, that's why we sitting back and watching. Going back to what we originally started. Well, matter of fact, we'll end off on that because we didn't finish it earlier. We've been watching, we've been warning. Now it's time for judgment to come. Ezekiel chapter 3 and 17 again. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Yeah, so the Lord has made us watchmen. We've been watching these things. We've been telling you about the judgments that were going to come. All right. We couldn't tell you exactly how it's going to happen at certain times, but now it's here. Habakkuk chapter 2. It was appointed for a time, but at the end it shall speak. Fuck you got to say now, man. We don't care what you got to say, honestly. Shut up and, like Conor McGregor said, sit down and shut the fuck up. Listen, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand, man. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. That's it, man. We ain't even got to keep reading, man. Repent or die. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Things are going to get real nasty here. Your life is about to be flipped upside down. You're going to have to prove yourself to Yahweh Shem Yahushua in the hour of temptation. Things are about to get real nasty. You either believe or you're going to die a horrible death. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone who rule well. And salutation and much love to the Akim out there pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. And much love to the elected Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Shalom.